This is 34 News Update with Abby Rosenblatt and Kara Caskew with the news, Rosanna Ryskasen with arts and entertainment, and Dennis Evans with sports. And now, from Studio B at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, here is Abby Rosenblatt and Kara Caskew.
Hello and welcome to 34 News Update. I'm Abby Rosenblatt.
And I'm Kara Caskew. That time of year again. This week kicks off SCN's 11th annual Christmas food drive. There will be a competition between homerooms to see which one donates the most items. The drive ends December 18th, so please donate the following: canned vegetables, boxed items, paper products, toiletries, and baby items. You can also help support the Adoptive Child Project, where you can make a difference in a child's life this Christmas by donating a gift. Please help the needy have a happy holiday. So let's go on location with SCN advisor Mr. Stevens for more.
We're reporting for 34 News, and I'm here with SCN's advisor, Mr. Stevens. So, Mr. Stevens, can you tell me a little about the Christmas food drive?
Sure. This is the 11th year SCN is doing our food drive, and we run it as a food drive competition. So each homeroom is asked to bring in food for their homeroom, and then they bring it to our room here at 152, and we tally it up, and the winning homeroom gets a free breakfast. We always try to get 2 items per person. That's always our goal, which would mean that this year if we got 2 items per person, that'd be 2,500 items. We rarely get that much. The highest we've ever had is about 1,800. But this year, we're not doing too badly. We have a bunch of food coming in already, and there's some behind me. But we do ask students to bring food in the next 6 days. We lost a week of school because Thanksgiving was late this year, so we only have 3 weeks to do our food drive. The food does stay locally. People don't realize that the food stays here in Scotch Plains and Vanwood, primarily to local food pantries. Sometimes they think it goes to bigger cities, but there are plenty of people right in our own communities that are in need.
And can you tell me about these angels and the trees?
Yeah, this is an offshoot of DECA's Adopt a Family program. They've had a lot of success with the students and faculty adopting families. We have found some staff members and a lot of students can't afford to adopt an entire family because sometimes if you're trying to buy gifts for 3, 4, 5, 6 people, that gets expensive. What we have here is adopt a child. So you can adopt one child, and we have the age, the size of the clothes that they wear, a gift suggestion, and students can really buy as much or as they want. We do ask for at least some clothing and a gift and possibly some candy. But it's very simple. You kind of take a tag, you put your name down, and then you're responsible for bringing in gifts for that particular person. We have 55 children we need to buy gifts for this year, and we only have 6 more days to do it. So we're about a third of the way there, so we can still use some people for that.
All right, and should we know anything about anything else that's going on this month for SCN?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we also are doing a ham and turkey drive. Many times supermarkets offer a free turkey or ham to patrons who purchase a certain amount of food, certain dollar amount. So if your parents buy a certain amount of food, you get a free turkey or ham. Sometimes it's not needed, so we're collecting those. For Thanksgiving, we collected almost 55 turkeys. So for Christmas, we're doing Christmas hams and turkeys. Those are also due by next week, Wednesday, I think the 18th. So we're looking to get as many as we can for that. We've done Christmas caroling. Actually, that'll be on Wednesday the 11th. And we have done bell ringing for the Salvation Army. So that kind of wraps up what we do for December.
Well, that's very good, and good luck with everything that's coming up. This has been Kate, and now back to the studio.
For the holiday season, DECA sponsored their 8th annual Adopt a Family. Students involved in DECA received a list of families with a wish list. Then they chose the family they wanted to adopt. Next, students would supply them with the basic needs, including clothing, household needs, or toys for their kids. This weekend, DECA is getting together to have a holiday party to distribute these gifts. Let's go on location to hear more about this event.
Location with Sarah Finkelstein, the organizer of DECA's annual Adopt a Family. So, Sarah, I hear you represent a lot of families in this Adopt a Family. Exactly how many families are you representing this year?
Interfaith sent us a list of 26 families that need to be adopted.
And what exactly are you providing for these families?
Well, basically, we just provided this list of what they needed to the community, and the community picked families that they decided that they wanted to adopt, and those families are responsible for buying whatever is on that family's wish list that they adopted.
Okay, and in the past, DECA's Adopt a Family has been very large. How is this compared to past events?
Well, in the last 30 years, that we've had DECA, we've done Adopt a Family for about 13, and we've had as many families as 80. This year we have 26. but it still went really well. We had a lot of interest from the community, and I think it's going to be really successful.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sarah. Now back to the studio.
There have been several rumors floating around school recently about changing the Raiderhead logo and the blue and white school colors. However, Principal Dr. Heisey says he has never heard of these ideas. For more than 50 years, we have had our royal blue and white colors. There is no reason why we should change our mascot and school colors now.
According to the Fanscotian, there will be a huge change to the SATs starting with the class of 2005. Changes include the math section, which will now include Algebra 2, and certain parts will be eliminated. Also, for the verbal section, analogies will be eliminated and will be replaced with a writing portion. These new SATs will now be worth 2,400 points as opposed to 1,600 points. Rosanna for Arts and Entertainment.
Thank you, Abby. Over 300 students attended the Winter Wonderland dance held on Saturday, December 7th. The Winter Wonderland theme provided a beautiful backdrop for the semi-formal attire worn by the 322 students which attended. They enjoyed the magical atmosphere created by the class officers. After expenses are paid, the profits will be distributed to each individual class treasuries based on the number of tickets sold to each grade level. On Friday, December 6th, students gathered after school for the first meeting of the film club. About 25 students attended. The club got started by 3 juniors here at Spiffy High, Jessica Schink, Vic Newmark, and Jack Mead. Together, the students watch films that can be intellectually discussed and read into. They also make films and discuss social implications. As of now, they are not sure as of when and where the next meeting will be held, so keep your eyes open for posters around the school for more information. Now let's go on location with one of the members of the film club.
This is Mike Design reporting for 34 News, and I'm here with a member of Film Club, Dom. So I hear the club just started. Do you know when did it start?
It started last Friday.
And what are you guys going to be doing in the club?
Well, we basically watch a lot of movies, and at the end of movies, we talk about them.
That sounds good. And who started the club?
Jack Mead, Victor Newmark, and Jessica Schink.
Do you guys have any upcoming meetings?
I think we meet every Friday, but right now we're still trying to get started, so I'm not really too sure.
Okay, thank you. Now back to the studio.
Now let's go to Ed Madden for this week's Critics Corner.
Hey, Ed Madden here with another installment of Critics Corner. I just got to Lowe's Theater to see 8 Crazy Nights, the new animated Adam Sandler movie. I like this one a lot. It was very funny. Like, I didn't expect it to be that good, but it was actually really funny. And it's like a Jewish twist on A Christmas Carol, like Scrooge-wise and everything, which is very cool to see. Adam Sandler did 3 voices by himself, which are all 3 are hilarious characters. And I'd have to say it's the best Hanukkah movie I've ever seen. So, and this one's PG-13 also. So I'm going to give it a B, and check it out.
Now let's go to Weekend Preview with Eddie and Angela.
Welcome to this week's edition of Weekend Preview. I'm Eddie Zazali.
And I'm Angela Minio. This week, the top 4 movie choices are Analyze That, 8 Crazy Nights, Friday After Next, and Die Another Day. If you want to rent a movie this week, the top 4 choices were Men in Black 2, Ice Age, Mr. Deeds, and Austin Powers Gold Member. Now to Eddie with sports.
There's not much going on in sports this weekend. The boys basketball team has a scrimmage away in Governor Livingston. And other than that, that's about the only game. The wrestling team has been training really hard in the offseason and the beginning of the winter season, looking for a spectacular season this year. So good luck to all the winter sport teams.
Thank you. This has been a Weekend Preview. Now back to the studio.
And now filling in for Dennis is Eddie with the sports.
Thanks, Kara. On Tuesday night, Mr. Rosenmeyer and other coaches handed out their fall sports awards. Teams such as the boys and girls soccer team, boys cross-country team, and the football team had members with all-state recognition. Congratulations to all fall sports teams. Our Raider wrestling team has been training extremely hard in the off-season and are definitely ready to start their season off with a bang. Key wrestlers to watch this season are Derek Francavilla, Chuck Bocci, and Matt Loomis. Now let's go to Simon for more on Raider wrestling.
Simon Poplansky on location, and we have a member of the wrestling team here, Eric Connolly. So how does the season look this year?
We look pretty good.
Is there a lot of returning starters on the squad?
Yes, one returning person, Derek Francovilla, he placed 7th last year in the state tournament. Myself, I placed 3rd in the region, and Steve Minio, who took 4th in the region.
Who is your first match against?
Kearney.
Do you expect to have a victory?
Yes.
Well, good luck this season, and this has been Sam Poplansky. Back to the studio.
Our Lady Raiders basketball team looked really strong, just running Rawway right off the floor in their first scrimmage. Jenny Burke and Morag Luley looked especially strong in the 3rd quarter, where the Raiders won 22-0. Also, junior Jen Russell has improved immensely since last season, grabbing every rebound in sight. Our boys basketball team is off and running, having their first scrimmage against Summit. The boys are very young, only attending 2 seniors on both varsity and JV. One of our crew members has caught up with a b-ball player for more on this information.
Patrick reporting for 34 News, and I'm here with Dave and Lance, 2 members of the boys basketball team. So Lance, what does the outlook for this season appear to be?
It should be good, but we're a very young team, but we should still go, really.
And what are your feelings on this season?
I think this is going to be pretty good, but the only problem is that, we have to come together. Because the team's mostly made of juniors and only 2 seniors, Roland and Kyle Adams. So,
when's the first game?
First game, it's 2 Fridays from this Friday, and we play Cranford at home.
Next Friday.
All right, so the game's next Friday. But this is it for Steve Petruka. Now back to the studio.
That's all for Raider Sports. Now back to Karen Abbey.
Thanks, Eddie. Now let's go to the quote of the week.
Now let's go to Hurricane Heffler for weekend weather.
Hi, it's Hurricane Heffler reporting for 34 News. I'm here with your weekend weather. Today it's Friday. It's going to be a high of 40 and a low of 28. It's partly cloudy. It's supposed to rain later tonight. We go on Saturday. It's supposed to be rainy at nighttime and a high of 48 and a low of 21. On Sunday, it's supposed to be a little cloudy, no rain though. It's supposed to be a high of 48 again and a low of 24. This has been Hurricane Heff. Now back to the studio.
Thank you for tuning into this week's edition of 34 News Update. Be sure to buy the junior class calendar for the price of $16.
Have a good weekend.